everybody, and welcome to another segment of Happy Animals. Today I want to talk a little bit about the energy we project. This is so important in anything we do with our animals, is to evaluate the energy that we have and what we are projecting to them. Animals are masters at reading our energy. They can tell if we're happy, we're nervous, we're scared. They can tell when we're sick, certain areas of our body, if there's an energy blockage or some disease, they can a lot of times pinpoint that. So our animals read us on a level a lot of times we're not even aware of. So it's very important to think about this whenever you're doing any type of training with them or anything. Thank you. Yes, I love you too. Anything you're doing with them, it's important to figure out, do kind of an energy evaluation of yourself to figure out what you are projecting to them. For instance, let me give you this example. A lot of people have mixed feelings about using a crate, but there are times when a crate is essential to use, and especially if an animal is, destructive to the point of hurting themselves, it's important that you have a safe area for them to go. What the mistake a lot of people make is when they're putting an animal in a crate, that they will have that feeling of, I'm sorry I'm doing this, I feel so bad about this, I wish I didn't have to do this, which to them it feels like the crate is a bad place because of the energy we're projecting towards it. So you want to stop and evaluate that and really think of it in a different way. So the crate is your safe zone. This is your happy place. This is where you go to relax. Think of it that way. Put something desirable in there. Make it more comfortable. Leave a shirt of yours with your scent on it in there. And change the way you view it. Same thing when we're leaving the house to go to work. We have that pang of guilt because you have those eyes looking at you, why can't I come? Or when are you going to be home? So it's very important that when you leave the house, you don't leave the house with that feeling of guilt or rushing out or too much excitement. You really want to leave with a feeling of, this is okay, I need to do this. Your job is such and such. I will be gone for 5 hours or however long, and when I get back, we'll go for a nice long walk. So it's a nice balanced energy you're leaving with, so your animal will pick up on that. Remember, it's the feelings and the thoughts and the energy behind your words that they are picking up. So it's very important in anything you do to just kind of evaluate that, especially if it's an issue. A lot of times animals reflect back to us our energy. For the longest time, my horse Finnegan, when I would ride, he would spook at everything, and it became so dangerous. This is before I knew anything about animal communication. When I was riding him, he would spook all the time. So I would prepare myself for the spook because, we'd be riding and I'd see something and go, oh gosh, she's going to spook at that. And sure enough, he would spook. But I was also propelling that situation. I don't know if that's the right word. I was manifesting the situation much more than I realized because I was thinking it, he was picking up on it, he was reacting. If I realized after being dumped many times that I had to change what I was thinking, because if I thought it, my body tensed, and he was reading all of that. Horses are amazing. They're so sensitive, and they can tell us, oh, your hip flexor is not loose. You're sitting too much to the left. It's amazing what they can tell us about our bodies when we're sitting on them or riding them and what we need to fix. They're just amazing at reading that, but I got off course there for a second. Anyways, so he was picking up on me being tense and thinking these things, so I really had to change the way I rode him. I had to ride him with my mind. Which was just a wonderful lesson, and I had to be more confident and more balanced and see things with a softer eye, and really project what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to be confident and focused, and so I really had to make a conscious effort to do that, because it's so easy, you know, fear can take over like that and hijack our thoughts, and then our body reacts as well. So it's very important to try and visualize what you want from the animal. That's the energy you want them to pick up on. You know, same things when an animal has some destructive behavior. Why are they being destructive? Why is my dog, you know, nipping at people when they come over? Why is he possessive? So some of the, you know, sometimes the answer is not always us, but it's very important to figure out what we're doing wrong as well. You know, we are in a relationship with our animals. It's not always their fault when there's a behavioral issue. It is a 50-50 partnership sometimes. So always think about, you know, what can I change to make the situation better? And whenever I have calls from people and there's a behavioral issue, when I connect with the animal, I try to convey to them the frustration the person's having. I find out from the animal what needs to be kind of fixed or corrected, so that we can achieve the desirable behavior. And I try and enlist the person into part of this compromise, because it really does, it takes two in many cases. So there are always things that we can do to help the problem. You know, you have to think, do I want to be part of the solution here, or am I going to be part of the problem? So by throwing anger or frustration or negative energy towards a situation, we are part of the problem. So we always want to be part of the solution and to figure out ways to help our animal. But a lot of times it comes, you know, one of the first things we need to do is evaluate our energy. So always keep that in mind. You know, if you always get animals that are coming into your lives who are very fearful, maybe it's something that they're reflecting back to you. Maybe it's something that you need to change about yourself. And then sometimes when we change something about ourselves, our animals change as well. So think about that. I always have people in my workshops do an evaluation of the animals who kind of are in their lives or have been in their lives. You know, what were their strengths? What were their weaknesses? Where do you think they were reflecting that back to you? And vice versa. So it's very interesting when you break it down that way to kind of see what we are attracting to ourselves. Always remember, whatever we are sending out, whether it's to our animals or to the universe, we are drawing that to us. So always start the day with the notion of a very positive attitude. With my animals, when I, you know, have to leave, I picture for them their job in a very positive way, so that we are attracting all of that positive stuff to us. Never want to start the day with a negative energy. You know, you don't want to step foot out of that bed until you really get yourself into a positive frame of mind. Even if that alarm goes off and you're running late, just stop for 1 second and just think about, I'm always I wake up with an attitude of gratitude, so I'm always very thankful. And then I kind of put that positivity out there so that I can start the day with a positive attitude. And you'll be challenged, you know, every single one of us gets challenged, but it's trying to remain positive and pushing forward that's very important. And you may think I got a little bit off course here, but it all comes back to our animals. Again, our animals are masters at reading our energy. So if you are having an issue with them, consider that you could be a little part of the problem as well, and figure out what you can fix to help the situation, you know, if you can. So hope that helps a little bit, and just move forward doing an energy scan of yourself and an energy evaluation, and try to always remember to picture things in the positive, and know that our animals do read our thoughts and our energy. So just be aware of that. The more aware of it we are, the more we can shift it into a more positive vibration. This also is very important. This comes into play a lot with working with wild animals. I do a lot of work at wild animal preserves, communicating with the animals there. And if my energy is nervous or scattered, they won't speak to me. So I have to have a very grounded energy. This also comes into play in working with fearful animals. If our energy is too scattered or fragmented, it repels them, it pushes them away. So having a very grounded, balanced energy is very important in working with these types of animals. So you say, well, how do I know if my energy is fragmented, or how do I ground my energy? If we're nervous, or if we're scattered, if we're not in the moment, so if we're thinking about, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Oh geez, did I leave the coffee pot on? So if our energy is thinking about a bunch of different things, it almost looks like a sparkler. You ever see those little sparklers with the energy, with the flames going everywhere? That's what our energy feels and looks like to animals who are very sensitive to this when we're a bit scattered, when we're not in the moment, or when we are not grounded. Our energy is fragmented. That happens when we're scared or nervous. And some medications will cause our energy to do that as well. So what we want is a nice calm energy, a nice fluid calm energy. We can achieve that by grounding ourselves. You can take a few deep breaths. You can imagine your energy anchoring into the earth. Just kind of taking all of those thoughts that are all over the place and trying to multitask too much into the here and the now. That gives you a calm energy, and then you can communicate with all animals on a much deeper level, and they will trust you a lot more as well, and be more willing to come towards us for us to help them, and they'll open up a lot easier as well. So think about that as well, having a nice grounded energy. It's so easy in today's day and age to not have a grounded energy, because we live in a society of multitasking, of getting things instantaneously. So grounding ourselves and being in the moment and having having that a few minutes a day to meditate. If you can meditate at least 10 minutes a day, and eventually move it up to maybe twice a day or longer periods of time, you will have dramatic results. But for the time being, if that's too much to ask, remember when you're working with your animals to ground your energy, to be in the here and now. You'll be able to hear things from them, sense things from them. They will be more open to us, and their energy will calm down as well. So, okay, I think that's it. So I hope that helped. Hope you have a great day. And remember, if you listen, they will speak.